Hi, my name is Sky, and I have an idea for a TV show. I call it A Gang of Daggers. The premise is a group of high school students discover a magical portal to another world. They travel there and realize that being high school students, around 14 years of age, that they're considered adults. And as a result, they can chase women, drink, kill people, and get away with it. So they decide to keep it a secret and form a mercenary band on the other planet and basically form what looks like a gang on Earth and travel between the worlds, trading to make money, but also basically chasing women, getting into fights, and developing a reputation of themselves, so gaining glory and fame on this other planet. The other aspect of the story is the dynamics of this gang, the Dagger as I call them. What happens within this group, how they interact with the people on Earth and the people inside the world. So the setting for the show would be at a high school, preferably a inner city, urban, just a poor, rundown, graffiti, dirty-looking place that just you would be afraid to go there, and that would be ideally where I want the show to start at, because that would be a great sort of comparison between this is a really rough place on Earth, and then when these kids go to this other planet, how being a primitive world, say like Europe, before the Romans took over, just like a bunch of small petty fiefdoms, and where honor was very important, and people would be very violent with each other, to get their point across. So on Earth, city have people running around there, and then on the other planet, the setting would be, start out with small villages, maybe use some brick, wattle, wooden houses. So really, the way I see it is maybe use some locations in Europe, but ideally you can just create some locations somewhere in the United States, or even go use locations established in New Zealand and Australia for like some of the shows they have down there, like Hercules, and whatnot. And then of course a lot of open areas, scenes, because I have ideas for battles and fights. And part of being a mercenary group is these guys go on missions a lot. They would be either escorting people, protecting, maybe like scouts for an army. So a lot of small unit actions. And the actors themselves, what I have in mind is recruit a bunch of freshmen who obviously have talent with acting, say on stage plays, and introduce them to sword fighting, stage combat, and basically look at the whole freshman class who are going to this school. If anything, turn this school into a high school of the arts, and just get everybody involved into pursuing something artistic, and even the aspects of making a film, making a TV show. Get those kids involved, train them, so they can develop these skills, and hopefully get get to the point where they can create scholarships for these kids as well. But just recruit all these kids. And the other thing about what's going on is that these kids have to learn how to fight and learn how to stage fight. That'll be some interesting training. I want to bring in some guys who are professional wrestlers, people who know stage combat, people who've been part of Star Wars, just all these different guys with all these different backgrounds. Bring them together and say, develop a fighting style and a way of teaching people so that they know how to fight. They know how that if you get winged on the arm, okay, that's an injury. So now the actor has to act like they're injured, and we can add in CGI blood later, and they have to continue on the fight, because the way I would set things up is whenever there is a fight in front of the camera, especially on this other world, the outcome is unknown. It's the skill of the actors that would determine the outcome, who would win, who would die. So that way there is no like, oh, well, he's a good guy, he's going to win. No, it's if you're not on your game, you're going to lose. And as a result, the storyline involving that actor would end. And the other actors, the other characters, would have to react to the loss of their friend. So the but of course the actor, like, oh, they die and they can, wait a little while and then come back as a bad guy, and we let them grow some facial hair, put some makeup on them, something like that. So the storylines would be each of these individual characters coming in, and the way I have it set up in my mind is after 4 years, the things become repetitive. You have a senior class who are the guys in charge. There's a leader amongst them who is in charge of making sure that the group, this gang, continues to function and also recruits new members. Because the idea is that the more members you have, the more people who are in your gang or in this gang, the more powerful they are on this other planet, the more missions they can do, as well as more money that the group is able to make. And so they go out and recruit a bunch of freshmen. The freshmen have to train really hard the first year or two, and going into their second year, they start getting involved in the storylines of the upperclassmen, the juniors and seniors, because it's the storyline and the tensions and the power plays of the juniors is going to determine where they end up as seniors. Which is, for prestige and respect amongst the group, and even some aspects of, like, they get more money or this and that. So I see just like a lot of different, complicated storylines. Now on top of that, part of what makes the story compelling is that these guys want to keep this thing a secret that they have. They don't want the whole world to know. So it'll be interesting, just how they will go about, why, they disappear for weeks, even months on end. How would that be explained? How, do they, and what I was thinking is that they can use magic to convince their parents, like, well, don't ask about this, and parents, okay, well, I won't ask about it. Things like that. For me, magic would be very subtle, very, sleight of hand, just, something moves and that's it. There's no real, flash or sound or whatever. Something like you'd have to pay attention to realize, oh, they just use magic right there. I can see this story or this TV show franchising out as well. That you can have alternate reality games develop at these various conventions. I could see also like an alternate reality sort of summer camp develop, where we would set up someplace in the Midwest of the United States and bring in many kids as want to, however young, that we can legally, through insurance are allowed to do, and then just, train them to be extras. Let these kids have this experience of learning how to fight. I mean, when you see 300 and the impact that had on the American audience, people want to do this. They want to get into sword fights. They want to get into these action things themselves. Provide a scenario, provide a place that they can do those things. There's also a lot of people who they do these live action role playing games, and give them that opportunity to come out and practice with rubber weapons, and eventually have like thousands of kids and use those as extras for battle scenes. So a bunch of actors you don't really have to pay too much or at all, who get the joy of they get to participate in a TV show and do some amazing filmmaking with all these people who you would have two armies clash, and it's the skill of the individuals in those who determine who lives and who dies, and I mean people are going to want to run away, things like that. So this is my idea, and I'm curious, is there a high school out there interested? Thank you.